Greetings everyone, this is Brandon, and today I've got a quick Transformers review for you. I'm going to be taking a look at the Cyberverse One-Step Changer Repugnus action figure. Repugnus is an Autobot that I have a sort of an interesting history with. Back when I was about 7 or 8 years old, the first time that I ever saw G.I. Joe the movie was on an old television recording that my older brother John had recorded off TV around Christmas of '87. And so that included a tremendous amount of really cool retro commercials, toy commercials, fast food commercials, things like that. And one of those was for the Autobot Monster Bots. That's Repugnus, Grotesque, and Double Cross, aka Twin Inferno. And so those characters always stuck out of my mind. So at least the visual of Repugnus has been in my mind since I was a young kid, even though I really missed out on G1 for the most part. I came into Transformers during Generation 2. So I've always had this just sort of childhood fascination with the character Repugnus. Never had a G1 figure, unfortunately. I really should pick one up. Coincidentally, about a year after that, John brought home a bunch of G1 Transformers from the flea market, and one of them happened to be Grotesque. So to this day, that's one of my favorite vintage Transformers that I own. Another note to make here is that if you like vintage TV commercials, you should check out Dave's Archive on YouTube. He does really well curated collections from specific years. If retro stuff like that is your thing, then you should really be looking at Dave's Archives. Really cool stuff. Anyway, long story short, Repugnus, really cool. Been really fascinated. I've been really fascinated with him since I was a kid, and really glad to pick up this figure. The Cyberverse toys in general didn't do much for me when they were first around. I thought they were kind of basic. I didn't hate them, but there was nothing that stuck out about them. It was just more, basic versions of G1 characters. And there's, like I said, there's nothing wrong with that, but just nothing that caught my attention. But lately they've been doing some really neat stuff, especially with these one-step changer figures. I picked up the Whirl, which I absolutely love. And then the Bludgeon they did, I thought was great. The Skybite was really cool from a couple of years ago. So when I saw Repugnus coming down the pipeline, I had to pick him up, of course. Like I said, one-step changer, so very simple transformation. What you do is you grab the beast feet here, and, well, before I do that, I'll tell you what, he's got a pretty neat little action feature. There's a white flipper here at the top of his head, and if you pull up on that, his pincers close, and so you can kind of grab a Decepticon. So, neat little action feature. But you grab the beast feet here, his toes, I suppose, and you flip him all the way up, and click him into place, and then the legs go all the way around behind the back. And then all you have to do is reposition the arms. And, a really good reflection of the G1 figure, I think. In the Cyberverse cartoon, they encounter a whole race, the Autobots encounter a whole race of Repugnus-like monster bots, and, they're initially antagonistic, and then they help them out, and then they become allies. So, really neat sort of origin for this character in that context. I think it works pretty well. But articulation's pretty basic here on Repugnus. He's got ball joints at the shoulders and at the elbows on both sides, but nothing else to speak of. Head doesn't even turn, unfortunately. But I just think he's got a really good look to him. I'm not a completist when it comes to Cyberverse, so really when I pick up these one-step changers and little oddball releases, they're to supplant my G1 collection, really. They're just I like to have these neat versions of these characters from G1 that I'm interested in, so thought he was a good addition. Paint on Repugnus is really clean, fairly basic, but again, that's just a reflection of the character. The G1 figures in the same color, so they get it pretty much spot on. And, I have a tremendous amount of fun with these one-step changers. I think that they're really cool, just, fun toys. Something I can just pick up and, just kind of take a couple minutes and fiddle around with them. They're really good, tactile. I get a good tactile sensation from these one-step changers. So I really highly recommend these. A couple of comparisons. There is also currently a Target exclusive box set with an early Decepticon version of Repugnus in these alternate colors, and so I picked that one up as well. It includes 3 smaller monster bots to go with him, and so I really recommend getting both of these. Actually, I mean, if you like Repugnus, if you're a fan of the one steps in general. I think these are both worthwhile releases. Really good alternate paint schemes for them. And here he is with a little Titan's Return Titan Master Repugnus, which I thought was a terrific little toy. Like I said, I never had the G1 figure. Really should get one of these days. I do have the Power of the Primes Special Edition Repugnus, but after moving, a lot of that stuff is in storage, and I couldn't get to him to show him by comparison. But yeah, solid, really solid, fun toy. For $10 in the Transformers world today. The price of deluxes is going up and up all the time, and just a fun kind of budget buy. If you're a fan of the Cyberverse line, if you like, relatively obscure G1 characters or the monster bots in general, I just really recommend him. I had a lot of fun with this Repugnus figure, and I think you would too.